So I'm here at my mom's house. This is something I've wanted to do for a while and I just haven't done it yet. Figure I'll take this opportunity to show how the Lishi tool works. I'll bring it in closer. You can see that on the knob there, it's upside down. Whereas on a deadbolt, it's correct. That's why the keyway's. This is the top of the keyway here. It's down here. This is a Kwikset keyway. It's a gatehouse lock. Mostly anything you get from any of the big box stores is going to be Kwikset or Slage. So I know in my area here, most of the houses are either Kwikset or Slage. And most of you aren't going to have one of these or need one of these unless you own properties. That's the, you can see right here, KW1 Kwikset Lishi tool here. I want to flip this over. But I also want to pick the lock. I want to decode the lock, which is what this is for here. If you can see the numbers. These are your spacings, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then going down is your cuts. I did WD-40 this because I'm out of Houdini. Houdini's not readily available here in Pittsburgh. I have to order it. Kwikset knobs, they pick to the left, counterclockwise, where Slage picks clockwise. The deadbolts are always going to pick away from the door, so this deadbolt would pick to the right. I know they're the same key. My brother put this door on and you got the lock set with it. I could pick this lock with a pick and a tension wrench in probably 10 seconds. This is going to take me a bit longer since it's upside down and it's just a little more difficult to read it that way. You just put a little bit of tension on there. I start with the first one. It's springy, so it doesn't need picked yet. The second one's springy. Third one's springy. Fourth is springy. I might not have enough tension on here. Oh wait. Fifth one picked. I can feel it move a little tiny bit. Back to the first. I think I overpicked the first just now. The second one needs picked. It's picked. Third, I don't think I had enough tension on there for that third one. I'll try it again here. One springy. The door's unlocked, so unfortunately I gotta lock it. It's hard to put the right tension on it when the door's unlocked. I'm starting with 5 and going backwards because I know 5 was the first one I picked. 4 needs picked still. 3's picked. 2's picked. 1's picked. 1 might be overpicked again. One thing about picking these locks is they're much easier to pick the incorrect way. So if I were to pick this clockwise, it wouldn't open, but I could still decode it and pick it the correct way. I know that there's at least 3 safety pins in here. 3 security top pins. They're like mushroom pins. Okay, and then 1's my last one. There we go. So that's picked. Now I can decode this, though I can't get the camera there to show you because I'm only human. The door should open. There it goes. I'm going to decode it. You see position 1. Make sure this thing's pushed all the way in. Position 1 is a 3. Position 2 is a 4. Sorry, my eyes are awful. and it's very early in the morning. So we had 3-4. Position 3 is a 1. 3-4-1. 4. 3-4-1-4-1. Now that I just recorded that and everybody knows what key my mom's house takes, I'm going to repin it and change the key number for it. But that is the way it works, so yeah, I'm gonna definitely repin it and change the key. So my next step will be to remove those 2 Phillips head screws and take this off. Now once you have this out, this is the way I want it to be. This is the correct way. So I have to flip this, because this here, that's actually the side. It goes like this, but I have the lock picked right now. Okay, I'm back, and I brought with me this Kwikset. It's a multi-tool for a Kwikset. Defiant, Kwikset, any of them with that keyway. Well, any of them with this setup. So the first thing you got to do is get your tripod. Yeah, it's a little difficult when you don't have a camera person. So inside of here, first thing you got to do is make sure that this right here, this black plastic piece, you want to make sure these grooves are in the center. Then you go in under here, hit this spring, and that black piece will pop right out. There. Then you take this end here, this kind of U-shaped, and you go under here, and this should pop right off. But you got to be careful, because you want to make sure you get this back on. In fact, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put this back in the locked position first. It will make sense. There, it's locked. You want to make sure that you put it on the correct way. So that's in there. Just a little tap. And I did it. Darn it. I'll have to go look at the door. Make sure I got this the right way. Now this should be the correct way right here. First I'm going to go repin this. We'll have it apart. In order to repin this, I'm not going to show you my pinning it, because I don't need everybody to see my mom what pin number she's using, because I'm changing it. This will go under here, and there's like a clip here. This clip will come out. That'll just come right out. If you don't have a key, you can shim it open. That's all I do. It's pretty simple. In fact, I'll be right back. Okay, we got 2 new keys. I wouldn't do this at a customer's house. I'm getting WD-40 everywhere. I would use it. I have a table that I carry with me, a little table. I got one of the fold-up plastic tables. So this is going to push back in. Now it's rekeyed. This piece here, it's just simply, there's only one way it can go in. You'll see that there's an angle on there. So that push in, that's done. Chances are you're not going to have that Kwikset tool, the removal tool. They're only a couple bucks online. I would say it would actually be worth it to just throw in your tool drawer in the kitchen or whatever, if you have this kind of lock, because then if it ever came to the point of where you wanted to rekey this, your lock, you wouldn't have to pay somebody to do it. You could do it yourself. And for a couple bucks and just having it lay in your drawer, it's well worth it. And you don't need that Lishi tool either. I would have picked this quicker with just a regular, even a homemade pick and tension wrench. You don't even really need a good tension wrench or pick or anything. You just make something. Kwiksets are very easy to pick. This one here is no longer going to be easy to pick because I changed the last two top pins. So now all the top pins are, all 5 of them are mushroom pins for security reasons. Once you know how to pick locks, you learn to make your own locks a little bit safer. Once you see how easy it is. And those security mushroom pins or top pins are they're great. They really will keep people from being able to pick your lock as easy. And this is a really cheap set. I wouldn't put this on anything of my own, but I mean, you can take a cheap lock, change those pins out, and make it a much better lock. I do this, you know, this is what I do, so I have all that stuff to do that most people aren't just going to have it laying around their house. I did, every time I went down there to grab another tool, I keep forgetting to get a screwdriver, so I'm using my CLK Supplies lock boss tool. It has multiple screwdriver tips in the top there. Brings me to another point that you don't want to over tighten these screws. You don't want them too loose. You got to get it just right, because if it's too loose, they will work loose quickly. If it's too tight, you'll have a hard time turning. The knob won't turn quite as easy. Oh, and also, while I have you here, this stuff here on any house is just to keep people honest. I mean, you can draw it out in 10 seconds. Mostly anybody that wants to pick it can pick it. And I don't care, you know, unless you got some medicodes or some kind of, there, that's the correct way now. Unless you got some kind of really good key like that, a Medico or MX13 or something like that, anybody can get in. You can, this is so, it's brass, you can just drill right through it. I lost that dang screwdriver bit again. So the deadbolt is the safer way to prevent people from getting in. I mean, you can draw it out or pick it just the same. But with just, when people lock just that lower one, there's a couple things you should know. First of all, you can get a plastic milk jug, cut the end, you know, cut part of that jug off and pick this lock. I mean, just slide the thing down there and open it. You can't do that with deadbolt. And a myth is that it's harder to pick the deadbolt than it is the knob. It's just as easy to pick either one of those. They're the same level of difficulty, and they're not difficult. So just because your deadbolt's locked, I know I go to a lot of houses for lockouts and they say, how much more is it going to be because the deadbolt's locked? It's the same thing. In fact, I don't even recommend having a lock here. I recommend this just being a regular doorknob without a lock, and just use this for the lock. The reason for that is because you can't lock the deadbolt from, I mean, you have to have a key to lock a deadbolt, obviously. So chances are you're not going to lock yourself out of the house. That bottom lock, you can just turn it and lock yourself right out. And when I go down, I know you guys have seen me a billion times going down to Monroe Towers, getting those apartments. It's because they don't even have deadbolts. All they have a very high security way of getting into the building, but they don't have deadbolts. They just have knobs, and the knobs are self-locking. So if your door accidentally closes, like you didn't mean to close it, but it just closed, and your keys are in there, you're calling. During the week, they have a maintenance guy there, and he'll let them in. He even has a key machine. He buys the blanks off us. Something really stinks like bad out here, and there's a lot of flies, so I'm thinking the raccoons may have left me a present somewhere. Well, that's all I have for you today. I just wanted to show you how Lishi tool works to open a doorknob.